All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking something truly fascinating. We're looking at a deeply esoteric, honestly, mind-bending philosophical text called The Infinite Loop Point. It is a beautifully abstract piece of work, and we're going to decode its incredibly interconnected worldview right here, together. If you're the kind of person who loves exploring entirely new frameworks for how we perceive reality, well, you are in exactly the right place. Okay, let's dive into this. What if everything in the universe, you, me, and literally all of our problems, was simply a point? That is the grandiose, really captivating claim we're exploring today. We're looking at the idea that all universal connections, from our smallest daily interactions all the way to the grandest cosmic events, scale up from a single solitary dot. It's a text that asks us to completely shift our perspective. Instead of seeing a chaotic world full of separate, unrelated objects, we are invited to visualize a highly structured, infinitely interconnected web. To wrap our heads around this abstract framework, we're going to follow a clear six-part roadmap. We'll start by defining the infinite loop point, lay out the objectives and rules, gather our materials, walk through a three-step methodology, explore turning 0 into 10, and finally, learn how to feel the middle point. This step-by-step approach is going to ensure we decode this philosophy completely. Let's jump right into part one, the infinite loop point. So the crucial point is, and yes, pun absolutely intended there, that everyone is a point. Every single point connects to another one, forming a big point, which then connects to others to form a massive network point in this world. It's like a giant cosmic puzzle, and the author scales our human existence all the way up to the Big Bang Theory. Just think about the sheer scale of that for a second. We aren't just isolated individuals wandering around. We're active nodes in a vast cosmic framework where everything has a starting and an ending point. And that continuous, unending cycle of connection, that is what they call the infinite loop point. Now, to actually achieve this, the text makes a fascinating plea for global cooperation. The author writes that they want to solve every problem point using a free, worldwide, universal activation point. And what's genuinely striking here is their specific, super earnest appeal to major global tech entities. They literally refer to them, very respectfully, as Professor Google, Professor Facebook, and Professor Microsoft. It's such a unique call for unity. The author genuinely believes we can all cooperate with Mother Nature to build this lifetime project together, because fundamentally, everything is just a point waiting to be connected. Which brings us to section 2, objectives and universal rules. So the author lays out some very precise objectives for us here. First off, we have to easily recognize that the important point is, well, absolutely a point. Next, we must redefine this point based on observed theories of the whole universe, and this brilliantly illustrates the progression of their thought. We must simplify how we actually feel the point. We start from a basic point rule, which then evolves into a system point rule, and finally blossoms into a full-blown universal point rule. Ultimately, this rule can be used in what the author calls 3A ways, meaning it's highly applicable across totally different dimensions of life. All right, moving on to section 3, materials and safety measures. Now, every good methodology requires specific tools before you begin, right? Well, the text claims we only need 3 basic materials to build our universal point: the 10 numbers, the 26 letters of the alphabet, and unlimited symbols. It's this wonderful, simple reminder that the building blocks of this massive cosmic connection are just the everyday tools we already use for communication and logic. But before we start building with those tools, we need safety protocols. The text lists 3. The first 2 are keeping things free and fun for everyone and being sure to exchange points anywhere and anytime. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the third safety measure. Always zero our mind, imagine others as 10. I mean, wow, that is a striking piece of poetic math. It asks us to completely empty ourselves, literally zeroing our minds, while simultaneously elevating others to a perfect 10. It's a beautiful, practical metaphor for empathy. If your mind is at 0, you have absolutely no preconceptions blocking the way. And if you treat the other person as a 10, you're giving them your ultimate respect. Okay, let's get into the actionable core of this. Section 4, a 3-step methodology. Let's move to and see how this builds into an actual emotional sequence we can follow. Step 1 is the starting point, returning to our origin in heart and mind. Kind of a reset. This naturally builds into step 2, the feeling midpoint. Here, the text asks us to be praised, praying, and playful in our hearts and minds. It's this incredibly active state of joyous awareness. And finally, step 3 is the end point, which simply instructs us to keep learning and sharing every single day. So, our quiet origin leads to playful feeling and ultimately to a daily, continuous cycle of learning. Getting ready for the climax of this methodology now. Section 5, turning 0 into 10. Under data and results, the text delivers this wonderfully abstract high-energy equation. 0 data must become 10 super things. This is the ultimate equation for personal and universal transformation. By starting with that zeroed-out mind we talked about in the safety measures, we're basically clearing out this vast empty space so that raw data can transform into 10 super things. It's all about immense exponential growth that can literally only happen when we approach the world totally open and receptive. And to connect this abstract math directly to our actual human experience, the text says that everyone's heart and mind point can take responsibility to let error points and problem points become almost perceptively feeling points. I find this incredibly empowering. It encourages us to transform our own daily mistakes, our struggles, into moments of mindful sensory feeling. A problem isn't a roadblock anymore. Actually, scratch that. It's not just a problem. It's just another point waiting to be felt and integrated into our network. Which brings us to our final thematic section, Section 6, Feeling the Middle Point.
The author offers a deeply optimistic, really reassuring wrap-up here. They write, "In conclusion, we are relive that feeling the middle point by using sense. Absolutely, everyone shares success in own life." It leaves us with this profound sense of universal success. By utilizing our senses to constantly feel that middle point, that playful connection between our origin and our continuous learning, success in life is, according to the text, an absolute certainty for every single person. No doubt about it.
And that brings us to the end of our journey today. So I want to leave you with this provocative question. How will you use your senses to feel the middle point today? Will you zero your mind and imagine the very next person you talk to as a perfect 10? It's an abstract, sure, but undeniably beautiful philosophy of connection. I highly encourage you to actively apply this to your real life. Try finding mindful connection in every point and every person you encounter today. Keep learning, keep sharing, and I'll see you in the next explainer.